In this video, I'm going to show you how we can access the I2C EEPROM of these blood pressure monitors. I actually started my experiments on this one, but it turns out that the hacking that I was able to successfully develop was applicable as well on these two other blood pressure monitors. And I think if we can get those cheap blood pressure monitor coming from China, it will all work on those as long as they have the same ASIC. But yeah, we'll see what's inside. So let's begin. We will start on this one. Our goal is actually to locate where is the I2C EEPROM. So the first thing that we need to do is to remove the screws. I already removed the screws for this one, so you can see one here, one there. Then you can also see one on this side, but you cannot see it because the cuff is actually hiding it. So what you need to do is to remove this first, and when you remove this, you have to, it's actually open, but I want to show you where the screws. You need to remove this one, this critical screw. There's one screw here, so you cannot pull this out. So once you remove that screw and these two, you can actually now try to remove this, and you will actually need some kind of force here. There you go. So as you see, there are three locking mechanisms here. This one and that one. This one is actually damaged already because of my repeated removal of that. And these two holes, you just have to match it there when you put it back. And then once you remove this, you can now have access on that screw and then that screw. So basically you have 4 screws here. So after removing those 4, you can now actually open it. There. Just a straightforward design. So these are the buttons. Yeah. And then you'll see here this should be the ASIC. This should be the sensor. And that one will be our I2C EEPROM. This one. Well, if you look at the board, it's not actually fresh because I already did some soldering there. But I think we already done our mission. Our mission is to locate this guy here. So now that we know its location, we can now proceed on the other blood pressure monitor. Yeah, this one is straightforward, nothing really complicated. This is the second blood pressure monitor that we will have. This is actually it's a good looking one in terms of its design, and this is a different configuration than the previous one. So what we'll do here is we remove this first, and then there are only 2 screws here, just 2, that one and that one. So after removing that, I will not show you how to remove the screws. You can already open this like that. You need to be careful because you might damage something here. And you see what happened? I actually damaged it. I removed the solder of this wire to the motor, but that's easy. We can resolder it. So yeah, there's a connector here that connects it to the I think this is a valve, and this is the pump. So again, we go back to our mission. Our mission is to look for the I2C EEPROM. And when you look at this, well, that's the sensor. That's a bit different from the sensor on the previous board. So if you look at this board, you can see that the LCD is behind the PCB, so there will be no connector here. And you will actually see immediately the ASIC. This is the ASIC, this is the sensor, and that will be our guy. And there's already a solder there because I already tested this board. That's why I know it's working here. So yeah, so we're mission accomplished here as well. So I just need to fix this thing because so be careful, guys. Well, yeah, good. Let's proceed on the other board. You just have to put that one there as well because there's an opening there. The good thing with this one is you don't need to remove this, but if you want to remove this, you just have to force it again. Let's proceed on our third blood pressure monitor. This is our third guy. This one is a bit popular because there's actually one company from India, if I'm not mistaken, that's already hacked this one, and they are selling their blood pressure monitor for interfacing, and it already has a UART interface. I'll try to look on it and put the link down below, but it's a bit more expensive than buying this very cheap blood pressure monitor. So what we will do here is, of course, we have to remove the battery, and you'll see some wires. These wires is not part of the blood pressure monitor. These are the wires that I already put there because it's still hooked on the I2C EEPROM inside. But again, I already removed the screws, so we will not waste time removing those. So you one also here, one there, one here. Then there's also a locking screw for the cuff here. There you go. There's a screw there. You see? So you need to remove that so that you can access there's another screw here. Well, I have to force. Yeah. This one. Yeah. You see? I think you see now. There's a hole there. So you need to remove this again so that you can access that. But I'm not interested on doing that. Well, I have to put that back properly again. But for the sake of our goal to show you where's the I2C EEPROM, let's start to open it. There you go. There are 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're done with that. And then this one is a bit different than the previous two because the I2C EEPROM is not on the front PCB. You don't see it, right? So don't be confused on these wires. Just ignore them for now. So the next thing that we need to do is to look at the bottom of the PCB. So we need to remove these 2 screws. Okay. And then the other one, we have to remove this as well. I already removed the first one. Good. So it's removed, and then the PCB is now free. So let's try to open it. I mean, to look at the. Oops. It's not easy, so you need to be careful. Whoop, there you go. There you go. It's a bit messy. There's wire going here. There's a wire going here, and there's a wire going there. So on top and the bottom, there are connections. So we really need to be careful if we don't want to mess with the wirings. We expect that the I2C EEPROM will be at the bottom. Unfortunately, it's not. So it's actually in the other side, inside this white plastic guard for the LCD. And we need to remove more screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 5 screws. But this board is already done. So I already have the SDA and the SCL there. And to save you some time, the SDA is actually this P12. You see that? The P12. The P12 is the SDA data for the I2C, and the P10 is the SCL, the clock. So if you have this very popular blood pressure monitor, you don't actually need to remove these screws anymore, but just hook there. So it's labeled, so I will not forget it. So I will not open that up. It's up to you to open that. So our mission is done here again. So I already hooked the wires. It goes there, and you could see there are labels here. It's the SCL, and there's the SDA label. Messy wire. I love this wire, but let's remove the unnecessary wire. And that one's unnecessary. And then I already have some wire stop here for the negative and the positive as well. So I think that's it for now. So you wait for the next part of this video where I will tell you how we connect things. And yeah, so if you think this is helpful to you, and if you want me to continue, please press the like and subscribe to my channel.